Welcome to the broadcast. My name is John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy, and thank you so much for joining me today. I guess I need to put my lower third on. The real estate tech guy. There we go. So try that. Hopefully that'll work for us there. Well, I want to say thanks again for joining. I'm trying to do some short little live streaming each and every day. We're still doing our podcast, so check us out over on Podbean. We will be eventually combining this specific YouTube with our Podbean account, with our podcasting. So we're kind of working all of that out, and also going to be streaming through our Facebook page as well as Instagram, all in one swoop. How about that? So anyway, I want to say thanks so much for joining, and I want to talk to you about a defeasance clause. What is a defeasance clause? I'm going to bring my iPad and make that a little bit bigger for you. But a defeasance clause is a mortgage provision indicating that the borrower will be given the title to the property once all mortgage payment terms are met. Okay. In other words, you have to remember that when you take a loan out, if you purchase real estate and you are in a situation where you need to take a loan out for the property, the lender has a lien on the property. So as you can see here, when all of the provisions have been the terms, it's not just the mortgage payments, but when all the terms have been met, which includes your mortgage payments, then the lender gives the title of the property back to the mortgagor. Okay? So I want to read you, I love John Riley, a great real estate educator and author, and he actually has a book I would highly recommend called The Language of Real Estate. I bought this years ago when I started my real estate teaching path, and I'm telling you what, he has helped me immensely not only understand agency but terms and definitions for real estate. So let's go back over here and take a look at the defeasance clause. Now, it says, how does a defeasance clause work? Well, defeasance clauses are based on the concept of defeasance, which nullifies a deed or contract. Now, it's important, and as I read John Riley's definition, that leases can also fall under defeasance. But generally, as Investopedia says here, a defeasance clause is not needed or required in most states, okay? However, you may see this on the real estate exam. So let me read you from John Riley's book, a defeasance clause, and I'm going to go back over here. And if you guys want to, I'll go ahead and read this from the book as we're doing this. It's a clause used in leases and mortgages to defeat, and that's what I always tell my students, think of defeasance as defeating. You defeat the more, you paid off all the payments, right? You've defeated the mortgage. So it's a clause used in leases or mortgages to defeat or cancel a certain right upon the happening of a specified condition. A defeasance clause typically found in mortgages provides that if the borrower repays the debt when due, then the words of grant are void and the mortgage is thereby canceled, divesting the mortgagee of title and reinvesting title to the mortgagor. Now, this is why terms are so important. And one of the things I want to remind you at Global Real Estate School is that we have digital flashcards. So when you go through Global Real Estate School, you'll have access to to the digital flashcards, and you can download those right to your phone. And when you're out and about, you can study and practice those digital flashcards. So the mortgagor is the borrower, okay? And the mortgagee is the person lending the money. Mortgagor, borrower, mortgagee, lending. I have a test question a lot of people always miss, and they always want to write and debate me about it. And they're like, wait a minute, I thought the lender's the one that gives the mortgage. Well, the lender has the mortgage prepared, but in reality, you or I borrowing the money, we get the money from the lender. However, the lender's saying, I'll give you the money, but you have to give me a mortgage in return. So who's the one that gives the mortgage? The mortgagor, the borrower. So let's go back and read this again, because I want you to get this. It says that a defeasance clause typically found in mortgages provides that if the borrower repays the debt when due, then the words of grant are void, because see, when the borrower, they're granting to the lender the fact that here's the security, because that's what the mortgage is. It's security for the debt. The words of grant are void, and the mortgage is thereby canceled. So I've given a mortgage to the lender, but the defeasance clause is now going to turn around and cancel all that, or void those words that said, here's a mortgage on my property. If I don't pay my payments, you can have it back, Mr. or Mrs. Lender. So it's thereby canceled, divesting the mortgagee, the lender, divesting the mortgagee, the lender, of title and reinvesting title in the mortgagor or the borrower. In other words, the loan is defeated and there's no more need for a mortgage. And so let's cancel everything and let's give the title back to the mortgagor, the borrower. So a defeasance clause, we'll go back over here to the iPad and let's look at that top line, is a mortgage provision indicating that the borrower will be given the title to the property once all mortgage payments are met. Now, normally what has to happen is a satisfaction piece or a release is recorded at the courthouse. And remember, we record to do what? To give constructive notice to the whole world that loan's paid off. There's no more there's no more lien on the property, no more mortgage, because through the defeasance clause, it says, hey, when you take care of all your obligations and requirements and make all the payments, then you have the right to have a satisfaction piece recorded, and that will show everyone in the whole world, that's constructive notice, that recording, that the note's paid in full. Okay? So hopefully you know a little bit more about a defeasance clause. Well, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell, because when you click on the bell, that means you will be notified when I'm doing more sessions like this. So go to YouTube, search for globalrealestateschool.com. Be sure and check us out on our podcast. You can find us on iTunes or Podbean. It's a little easier on Podbean or Spotify to search for Global Real Estate School. But if you like iTunes and that's what you use, you can use the domain Global Real Estate School Podcast, all one word, .com, and it will pull up the iTunes for you, or it should. So anyway, would love to have you subscribe to that. Check us out on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we have a great tool called My Real Estate Exam Coach. They're short, little, concise videos, short videos to help you learn the subject matter so you can pass the real estate exam in any state. It's all national content. It doesn't cover the state. Hopefully someday we might get to that point, but covers the national content. So works in California, Oregon, Minnesota, wherever. But, we're approved in 8 different states, or we offer courses in 8 different states. We work in conjunction with a couple of schools in 2 of those states, Kansas. We work with our good friends at Training Partners, and in South Dakota, we work with our good friends at South Dakota School of Real Estate. But other than that, we are approved in the other 6 states, and we would love to have you as a student. Florida, Virginia, Indiana, Oklahoma. We're in Hawaii, which we're just wrapping up to put that online here. Missouri, and I think that's it. Virginia, Indiana, Florida, Oklahoma, Missouri, and soon to be Hawaii, which we'll have up. We are approved in Hawaii. We just have to finish a few little items. So, well, as always, thank you so much for joining. Again, my name's John Mayfield. I am the real estate tech guy. I do some tech training as well. So if you need some help with that, reach out to us. We have a whole new coaching program we will be launching soon. But I want to just say thanks again for watching the podcast. And always feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to help. Have a great day. And don't forget defeasance clause. When all the terms and conditions are met, the mortgage is defeated. You have the right to have that satisfaction piece or the release recorded at the county courthouse to give constructive notice to the whole world that everything's paid in full. There's no more loan on the property. So I think the defeasance clause says I can hit the stop the stream button now because we've covered everything. And so this podcast episode on YouTube is defeated. And so I'm going to go issue my satisfaction piece right now to give the whole world constructive notice that I'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you later.